We're going to talk about how people get organic traffic. One of the things I don't think people realize is that the more pages you have, the better it is. The way Google works is very simple. You tell it what pages you have in a sitemap, and people don't even know what a sitemap is, maybe, or there's a robots.txt file, and that should contain your sitemap. Now, if you're a tiny, tiny site with 3 pages, you don't got to do anything. Google can figure that out, usually. And if you have 1 or 2 pages, then you're really doing the marketing. Google's not doing it. You have 1 or 2 pages, you got to tell people about the page, right, in the URL. It's just like a business card, right? But if you want organic traffic and you want to serve a need, then you have to have a lot of pages. Google, according to Google, they don't have domain ratings. They have page ratings. And I think that's fairer. That's straight from Larry Page, but who knows what the truth is, because we'd have to really look at the code to see, and probably it's a blur, it's a mix, And there's got to be some influence, because New York Times is definitely rated higher than xyz.go or whatever, or example.com, even though that's pretty high. Now, what this page does is it kind of tells you, it compares pages. What pages are indexed on one site versus another. Or you can use keywords. But in this case, it always compares against Zillow, because it's too confusing for people to have multiple inputs. And so keep it really simple. Whatever you put in there, the keyword or the site colon just means everything indexed on that site. Luckily, Google hasn't deleted that option. Thank goodness. And it compares that against Zillow's site page. Now, what this is showing us is, and it's easier to see in the formatted context here, this is straight from Google, that Facebook has 377 million pages indexed, and Zillow has about 26 million. You can see it right there. Right, this versus this. But let's think about what that means. That means that Facebook has been indexed in Google 377 million pages. And each one of those pages has some value, has some link and some content. And Google, even though people say Google has infinite resources, they don't. No one has infinite resources. The world is finite. Wake up, everyone. The world is finite. So you have to order these things, and Google does its best at indexing what you tell it, but it's not going to index everything. It's not your personal search engine, right? It's a search engine to make money, and also it has to make a value judgment between what is in the pages and what people are looking for, right? And in my opinion, it does a pretty good job of that. And now people want to get rid of the future search engine, and then you just ask, what do these AI things do? They take it from the web, and then they don't credit back to where it came from sometimes. They just swallow up the information, and they give no links back. That doesn't seem right. That seems like a giant copyright issue, right? The world creates the copy or the information, and these AI robots charge for it? Well, they better be giving back something to, just like the record people, the people, the musicians make the music, and the computers take all the profit. That doesn't make any sense. We're just going around in circles. But let's look at I know this is hard to read, but the red is Zillow and the green is Facebook. And you can see that Zillow thinks that this is the most important page. Zillow, real estate, apartments, mortgages. And the most important thing to Facebook seems to be AI at Meta. That seems to be their most, and their most important link seems to be ai.facebook.com. That seems like a bizarre choice, but that's what they snippet. Built openly intelligently with Lambda, our newest experiment in AI. Holy smokes. So their page, whoa. So I guess ai.facebook.com was built by this. You can tell Zillow is much more focused. Zillow focuses on real estate listings. And so you could ask, why do they have 37 million pages, right? Let's just go back to that number. They have 26 million pages, Zillow. Well, there's a lot of property and they want to keep it indexed or keep it indexed in Google just in case somebody types in these addresses or rentals in Kansas City or something. They want to be the top link. For Facebook, I'm kind of surprised that there's 377 million pages, but I guess kind of makes sense. They wanted their results to show up in Google search too, and all the search engines. This is not just Google. This is coming out of the Google index, but all the other search engines also have access to this, obviously, because that's the web. Now, to get to the point, let's compare something else here. Let's just see. I think the world's biggest site is YouTube, I think. So we can see what happens. And there it is right now. And remember, these are approximate numbers. They're not real numbers. Google doesn't give away real numbers. But it looks like 2.1 billion, 2.1 billion pages, according to Google, from YouTube is indexed, right? And if you're wondering what they are, they're things like studio.youtube, but they get down to the level of every video. Every video has to be somewhat indexed. Not every video gets indexed because, again, there's limited resources. So Google doesn't index everything. And a lot of this is hard to understand, but it does compare page by page and link by link. So here, let's just look at it. There's a YouTube help page versus the Indiana real estate homes for sale Zillow, right? So Zillow seems to wants you to know that there's 25,000, over 25,000 homes for sale in Indiana. While Google wants you to know that the official YouTube help center is where you can find tips. And also, inside here, you can click on any of these because it's trying to give a link to whatever is over here. Like, for instance, CSE thumbnail. Let's just see if we can look that up. Yeah, see, there it is, CSE thumbnail. It's actually list, but I think that was thumbnail. Let me just go back. So why did it... So we can search the we're searching the developer site for thumbnail, and unfortunately Google could not find that, so we're going to look for this one. And yeah, that's interesting. Google doesn't document that. All right, you could search around yourself. But the point is, the site is trying to help you. And you could do that with any page, any keyword, anything you can compare. Now, if you want to compare, the point is that people don't understand that in order to get hits in organic search, you have to answer questions that people are asking. So if you answer a question that nobody's asking, obviously Google's not going to connect the two. First of all, they probably won't even index it, right? But if you're answering questions that people are asking, and it's not so competitive, for instance, if you say who's going to win the U.S. election, you're competing with CNN and New York Times and these people, and obviously Google defaults to them. If you're giving information about something that's authoritative government, they defer to government sites, and for good reason, I guess. But one can question that. But if you are competing in an area where governments don't compete or are incompetent, or it's long tail, which they call short tail and long tail. If you say pizza in New York, that's short. The pizza, if you just put in pizza or pizza, Google knows where you are. So, but if you say, what is the I don't know, the salary of some person, right? Some name. That's very long tail, because you have to really index that name, right? In order for Google to find a match, right? So that is an example of somewhere where if you create a database and you make it easy and fast pages, then you can compete in that area. That's the long tail area. And let's say you have an insurance business and you want to help your insurance customers and you want them to find you, your prospective customers. Then what you do is create good content, valuable content that answers questions that future prospective customers might ask. Because if you look, Google is getting billions and billions and billions of questions every day, right? And that's basically what they are. The searches are questions or keywords or whatever you want to call them. And so that is the key to getting organic traffic. Now, of course, you can try to pay for all this by ads, but I hope to goodness that people realize that the difference between an ad and organic content. Usually the best content is the top, according to Google, is the top organic result. Organic just means not sponsored, not ads, not whatever, right? So I'll put a link to this page in the video. Peace out. Just getting too long, I guess. Peace out.